If, like me, your weight loss journey has been a struggle, then this is the missing piece. What I'm going to teach you today can make the difference where weight loss is no longer something you worry about, struggle with, or have to figure out. This is the thing that's missing from virtually every weight loss program out there. There's so much more to a successful weight loss plan than just diet and or exercise. Hi, I'm Genny Tonin, and I'm a holistic nutritionist. I am the founder of a program called the Midlife Metabolism. I'm on a personal mission to become the healthiest, happiest, and most fulfilled version of myself. And my hope with this channel is that I will inspire, educate, and empower you so that you can become the healthiest, happiest, and most fulfilled version of yourself, whatever that looks like. So let's dive in. My weight loss journey has been long, complicated, and anything but straightforward. During my struggles with weight loss, there was a pattern that happened again and again and again to me. You see, I had a condition called PCOS, which is a hormonal condition, very common, but it makes weight loss really difficult. The same thing kept on happening to me time and again, where I would hear about some new weight loss method, be it a workout, a diet, a fad, a trend, a whatever. I'd learn about something new and I would get really excited. I would get really hopeful. I would think maybe this is finally the thing that's going to give me the success that I want. Maybe this is finally going to shift things for me on the scale, literally, and in my life. Maybe this is finally the answer I've been searching for. And so I'd learn about whatever the program was. I'd be all enthusiastic. I'd get all set up. I'd buy the stuff. I'd get the recipes. I'd have the ingredients. I'd do whatever I was supposed to do. And I'd start. But then sometimes it was after a couple of days, sometimes after weeks, once or twice after a couple of months. Eventually, the same thing would happen. Something would happen. I'd get off track. And all my efforts would be for nothing. If I'd lost weight, I'd gain it back, often gaining back a couple extra pounds on top of that. If weight loss has been a struggle for you, I'm sure you can relate to this, that whole yo-yo dieting thing. It's a nightmare. When I'd inevitably fail, I'd be so angry. I'd be so frustrated. I'd beat myself up mentally and emotionally. I'd berate myself. I'd tell myself things like I was pathetic. It was my fault. I didn't have enough dedication or willpower or motivation or follow through or whatever. And that this was all because of me. I'd blame myself. And each time I failed, I'd hate myself a little bit more. And it was exhausting, to put it mildly. My husband, he watched me through all of this, feeling completely unable to help me. And I don't know how many times I asked myself if maybe I was just doomed to deal with this forever. I ended up leaving my job and going back to school to study holistic nutrition because I really wanted to resolve PCOS for myself. I wanted to be able to move beyond the symptoms. I was struggling with infertility at the time, and I wanted to resolve that. And as I went to nutrition school, and I started integrating all these different practices into my life to help with my hormones and my metabolism, I started to finally get the positive results that I'd been looking for. I started to gradually see results that were lasting, didn't feel like a struggle anymore. I was able to do the things and just integrate them into my lifestyle and my routine in a way that felt natural. It didn't feel confusing or overwhelming or exhausting. And I started to feel better, and I started to get positive outcomes with my PCOS scale. The numbers were finally moving in the direction that I wanted, and the struggle was over. And I knew I'd shifted. I knew that there had been a change, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was that I was doing differently this time, other than I'd spent years in school and thousands of dollars to learn this information. And then I finished school. I resolved my PCOS issues naturally. I restored my fertility. I went on to have my children with no interventions. And I started working with clients. And I was so excited to help people overcome their struggles like I had struggled. But then my clients started having the same struggles that I had had. They were telling me how they were struggling with motivation and willpower. They didn't believe in themselves somehow. And then one day I had a realization. There's a saying in life that you don't get what you want. You get what you believe you deserve. And when it comes to weight loss success, that is so true. This is the thing that's missing from virtually every weight loss program out there. Your self-worth, your belief in yourself, your self-image, that determines your level of success more than anybody has ever told you before. If you have a high self-worth, a high self-image, if you have belief in yourself, you have those things, then you are able to easily turn obstacles into opportunities. When your self-worth, when your self-identity, when your belief in yourself, when it's high, you are able to see beyond the problem and you are able to find creative solutions. But for most of us, especially when we've been struggling with things like our weight, which is for sure tied up in our self-image, our self-worth, often tied up with old traumas and different kinds of emotional associations. When our image is low, then it is really, really hard to shift into a positive outcome when it comes to weight loss. That low self-image, it keeps us feeling small and playing small, never really getting beyond the struggle and ending up in modes of self-sabotage, ending up in the same pattern occurring again and again and again. When you have a negative self-image, it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy where you try to do the thing to lose the weight and then you sabotage it somehow, consciously or not. And then you tell yourself, I knew it wasn't work. I knew it was too good to be true. I knew it wouldn't happen for me. There's a famous saying by Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that in a nutshell is the most true statement when it comes to being able to succeed in a weight loss program. If you think you can do it, you're going to do it. If you don't think you're going to do it, if you don't think you can do it, if you don't think it's possible for you, if you don't think you have what it takes, and this can be a conscious thought or a subconscious thought, but if that's your internal belief system, then that belief system is going to show itself as true in your results. So what's required to make that positive change is being able to shift your mindset, being able to shift your identity, being able to learn how to change the way you view yourself and viewing yourself as somebody who can accomplish what it is that they set out to do. And that brings me to number 2, which is what exactly it is that you want. What do you want to accomplish? And I will often hear the same answers. I will hear things like, I want to lose weight. I want to drop the excess pounds. I want to be thinner. I want to be stronger. I want to be more fit. I want to have more energy. I want to have better hormones. I want to feel more attractive. And those are all great answers. And I get it. I mean, who doesn't want to feel those things? But there's a problem with those answers. And that problem is that they are not clear enough. Changing your lifestyle, changing your eating habits, changing the way that you move your body, changing the way you live your whole life in order to get the weight loss results you want, well, that takes a lot of learning, a lot of practice, a lot of consistency. And in order for that to be a success, you have to get crystal clear on what it is that you're striving towards. Think of it this way. If you took a professional athlete, a sprinter in the 100-meter dash, and they were training day in and day out, but they didn't know how far they wanted to go and how fast they wanted to go, are they going to win the gold medal? No. Those athletes, they get so focused on exactly what it is. They have every single move of their entire race figured out in their mind. They see it in their mind's eye and they rehearse it day in and day out. They know they want to be on that podium. They want to have the gold medal around their neck and they want to hear their country's national anthem and they live it. And they are so focused on it. And that's a huge part of what their coaches are helping them do. So if you're looking to actually change your body, change your metabolism, finally get rid of the excess weight, you can do it, but you need to be so crystal clear on what it is that you want to do. And in order to do that, I have a really easy exercise, but you need to be able to write down on a piece of paper in a way that a 6-year-old could understand what it is that you're working towards. And that same 6-year-old would have to be able to assess whether or not you're on track to do it by how you're living your life. And there should be ways that you're quantifying it. So while saying I want to be leaner or stronger or more energetic are all great things, there's not really a good way to quantify that. So figuring out something like a physical task, how you would be able to accomplish it, or how fast you can go a certain distance, how heavy of a weight can you lift, what percentage of body fat are you striving toward, or a waist measurement, or a number on the scale, or clothing size, or something else that where you can physically quantify whether or not you're on track and accomplishing that task that you've set out for. Just like the athlete is striving towards being first across the finish line and receiving the gold medal, and they can quantify that, I want you to have a clear vision of what it is that you're setting out to do and have a way to be able to explain that simply and clearly and quantify whether or not you've achieved that. And like that athlete, I want you to be able to visualize that outcome for yourself. I want you to, in your mind's eye, be able to see it, to touch it, to taste it, to feel it, to hear it. Whatever that outcome looks like in your head, I want you to be able to see that picture in your head as clearly as possible. And finally, we need to understand why we're doing what we're doing. Why is it that you want to do this thing? Why does it matter to you? How is dropping excess weight going to make your life better? How does having accomplished this enhance your quality of life and make you feel more fulfilled? Because the why behind why you're doing all of this, that is the driving force that is going to make you feel like you can move mountains. This is what's going to keep you focused on all the things that are required throughout the whole journey. This is what's going to keep you focused on that outcome that you've envisioned in your mind. This is what drives lasting change, understanding why you're doing it in a way that speaks to your heart, in a way that moves your emotions. This is when transformation happens. I want you to get really dialed in on what your why, like your vision of what you're looking to achieve. I want your why to be really laser focused too. So remember, there's so much more to a successful weight loss plan than just diet and or exercise. Your mindset, your outlook, that is the missing element in every program out there, or almost every program out there. So remember, you've got to believe in both yourself and your ability to do this. You've got to be able to envision really clearly what it is that you're striving towards. And you've got to understand why you're being driven and fueled to do this. If you're struggling with weight loss, let me know in the comments below what exactly it is that you'd like help with.